Hello, I'm Jan Brown, President and founder of TEACH Rwanda. We're here today on the last day of the meeting that I have chaired as chair of the board for the last 12 years. For the past few weeks, I've been thinking about how we all arrived at this moment of transition in board leadership for TEACH Rwanda into the capable hands of Dan Dillard as your new president, effective August 1st. My lifelong dedication to education began back in 1944, a few days after I was born. We lived next door to my Aunt Iva, who was a third grade teacher. For nearly all of my first 6 years, she promised me that I would learn to read when I started school. She would not let my mother help me learn to read. Well, after that first day of kindergarten, I came home in tears, devastated because I had not learned to read yet. As a child, I played with Aunt Iva's extra third grade textbooks and my cats and little brother. They were not very cooperative students. Fast forward through my education in Iowa, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, career as editor of education journals, and then at Crayola. In 2010, after 40 years in the field, I retired, bought a new car, and well, I didn't want to be bored. So when Arlene Brown, who's no relation, came to the US in August to raise money to change her orphanage in Rwanda into a school, and she needed someone to get it started, I said, yes. 3 trips to Rwanda, and that school was up and running. And then in January of 2012, my phone rang in the middle of the night, and a Rwandan teacher, Louisa Batumriza, asked me to return to Rwanda to help start a different school. Once again, I said, yes. We began Bright School with about 20 students, an empty living room in a rented house, 2 teachers, and 1 box of 24 Crayola crayons. We had virtually no money, no furniture, no learning materials. Our prospects were pretty dismal, but we persevered. And when Bill Whipple, and I married in 2012, he joined the team on the ground in Rwanda. Today, TEACH Rwanda, all of us on the TEACH Rwanda board, including those who join us on Zoom, are now responsible for 350 current students and 22 teachers and staff at Bright School, our flagship demonstration school. We have grown to 5 talented and passionate TEACH Rwanda national staff. Over the past 12 years, our tiny INGO has worked with at least 500 teachers and school administrators in workshops and mentoring visits to improve the quality of education for an estimated 3,015 directly affected students in Bright and 15 other partner schools across the country. TEACH Rwanda's Rwandan educators and one Brit, that's Rachel, our country rep, are dedicated innovators in their tiny, landlocked African country. Our schools are inclusive, engaging, respectful, and joyful places to learn. Bright School's Lego robotics teams are award-winning. Our former students have moved into secondary schools where they now lead their new robotics teams. Our students, including street kids and stunted students who attended on scholarship, now aspire to be doctors, pilots, engineers, writers, clothing designers, and university professors. Our Rwandan teachers, some of whom have been with us since those early years, love their jobs and now mentor other teachers to assure that learning through play and projects is implemented in Rwanda. Their dream? That people in this developing country can be competitive, compassionate leaders in tomorrow's world. And perhaps most of all, so that Rwandans can be a beacon of world peace, working together to move their nation forward from its genocide just 30 years ago. Together, Rwandans and TEACH Rwanda will continue to change lives, to bring hope to stunted and vulnerable children, to raise up educators who are creative and kind, and to give families opportunities to lead better lives. TEACH Rwanda does this every day, and we trust all of our TEACH Rwanda board and all of our supporters will continue to dedicate your lives to high-quality education, especially for those students who rely on Fund a Future scholarships at Bright School. In the future, when you hear the budget numbers, fundraising goals, and progress reports at board meetings, I urge you to think about the hundreds, now thousands, of teachers, students, and families whose lives are forever changed by our commitment as board volunteers. I'd like you to remember Asher, who was on Facebook just this week, who has Down syndrome, and whose father was recently elected as Bright School's parent president. Visha, our talented 16-year-old alumni dancer who wants to go to school in the US or Canada. Queen Enrica, whose mother is dying of cancer and who have no other family. Eunice, an inveterate reader who loves robotics because she wants to be a heart surgeon. Mary Louise, a gifted teacher who struggles to keep her family afloat. And Jean de Dieu, our education innovation specialist, a principal at a formerly progressive school in Kigali, who quit his job because he knew that play was the foundation of learning. Real people, real lives, real challenges, real successes. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the trust you have put in Bill and me for the last 14 years as our passion for respectful, inclusive education built a strong foundation for TEACH Rwanda. We will remain volunteers in Rwanda for much of the year for as long as our health permits. And now, with these boxes of crayons, I hope that each of you in this room will celebrate how far TEACH Rwanda has come since 2012. And for Dan, I would like him to celebrate our new position as president. He gets a box of confetti crayons. And now, in your hands, along with our staff in Rwanda, we place our faith in your desire to carry our legacy forward, to bring joy and learning to even more students and their teachers and families, from preschool through university. We are confident that TEACH Rwanda will have the courage to continue to say yes, as we are called to continue to expand one of the most dynamic INGOs in Africa. Thank you.